March 21st, 2023, new moon in Pisces. This means massive Kundalini upgrade. There is a crystalline structure in the depths of the earth which allows Earth to stay in constant communication with intergalactic civilizations. And this serpent, who is an aspect of Shiva, is awakening this crystalline grid for our awakening on Earth and our connection to the rest of the galaxies in our universe. This is Mahadeva, and this is the ThunderWizard.com YouTube channel. So, where I'm at today, it is Tuesday, March 21st. Actually, the new moon is going to start a little bit later, so I'm a day ahead of you. So tomorrow morning, actually, is when the new moon hits. So I want all of you who are following my channel to be doing this Hul breath. This Hul breath mantra is actually an incredibly powerful mantra which will allow you to tap directly into this crystalline grid. This is something I'm just learning. So probably 10 or so years ago, no more, what am I saying? More like 15 years ago, I was given a mantra in meditation. I won't get into it. I've talked about how I got it, but I know now where I got this mantra. So this chant of Hul, if you want to find out where it is, it's H-U-U-L. Look it up. You'll see it. You can find it anywhere. You should be chanting this mantra, because this mantra, actually what it does is it sends your energy directly down to a crystalline grid that is in the depths of the earth. This crystalline grid is in fact the way that Mother Earth communicates directly to the quantum consciousness. And that grid of the quantum consciousness is what all conscious beings, all beings of light, use not only to navigate through different dimensions through our universe, but also uses to communicate and connect. When you chant this mantra of Hul, when you chant that, you are chanting that that crystalline grid structure to connect you to that. So for this this new moon, I recommend everybody spend some time during the day chanting that mantra, listening to the videos that I have on this channel. I have 30-minute loops of it. There are, just if you just go and look in my channel, you'll find Hul breath mantras that you can chant. So, what is going on in this incredibly important new moon? As you know, I've already made a video about this, talking about some generalities. And one important aspect of this new moon is that this new moon in Pisces, by the way, we're talking about the sidereal zodiac, which is the actual snapshot of the sky above us. Unfortunately, Western astrology uses the tropical zodiac. It is an inaccurate calculation. They're going to tell you that the new moon is in Aries. But if you actually look up in the sky, the new moon, and of course the sun and Mercury are in the sign of Pisces. So we all know what the sign of Pisces is. It's the inner awakening, the inner spiritual awareness. This is achieving enlightenment. This is the last house, the last sign, the 12th sign in the zodiac, which means leaving this limited earth and going on into higher realms. And so this new moon, as we've talked about, is going in there. The mind is now resetting itself. But now we're going to talk about the placement of this, because this is extremely important. So the moon and the sun and Mercury are all in the nakshatra of Uttarabhadrapada. And this nakshatra, Uttarabhadrapada, has to do with completely resetting and moving into a new awakening, a new awareness. It represents death and then awakening from the dream. Now, this nakshatra Uttarabhadrapada, there is a protector of this nakshatra. And the protector of this nakshatra is a massive naga, whose name is Ahibudnya. Ahibudnya means the naga, or the serpent of the depths, the serpent at the root, the serpent deep within the earth. And it is said that this serpent lives in the depths of the earth, protecting the crystalline communication network of Mother Earth. So this naga who is protecting our deepest connection to the rest of the cosmos, to the quantum consciousness, you can call it God if you want, this serpent is arising. This new moon is coming in, which is our minds. Our minds have been wiped clean. Whether you are aware of it or not, all of your understanding of 3D reality has been destroyed. Those people who are walking around, still spouting the narrative, it's just an echo within them that they're holding on to. Everybody feels that their understanding of reality has come crashing down. It has all come to an end, and now the awakening begins. The Kundalini Shakti within your root chakra is now going to rise. Everybody's Kundalini is going to be awakened. If you're not already connected and aware, it's going to be a shocking experience. Already, I know there's a lot of people listening to me. You've been going through a hell of a lot. There have been massive cleansings, shamanic cleansings, detoxes. People are having all kinds of physical issues, and this is the body detoxing. You might even be detoxing from actual chemicals. Those of you who've been using recreational chemicals, you're having a hard time doing it, right? You're having a hard time drinking that alcohol, doing that weed, doing whatever it is that you've done to sort of keep your emotions comfortable. That isn't working anymore. And you've been cleansing. You've been going through emotional cleansings as well. I know I have, major, ever since June, but of 2021. But ever since this new moon, I have been on a completely different level on every level of my existence. And so this new moon, we've got the full moon and the new moon, it's coming around. This energy is going to ramp up again. And again, this is the chart for the coming year. So that means for this coming year, the great Naga serpent, who is in the depths of the earth guarding the crystalline communication structure that connects planet Earth with the rest of consciousness in the cosmos, that serpent is awakening. That means throughout this year, that serpent is going to be revealing the truth. So we're going to be having simultaneous experience of complete, total destruction of the lies. There's going to be new revelations throughout this year. This is the year where everybody is going to be shocked when they find out. Those who don't know, those of us who may have an understanding of what's been going on, it's just going to be, we're going to be grateful to see that the truth is coming out, what we've known. Some of you have known it longer than I have, but everybody is going to be exposed to this. And depending on their attachment to the narrative, they're going to respond however they're going to respond. So let's talk about this serpent, Ahibudnya. This is an aspect of Shiva, So Shiva, as you know, is the great awakener. This is really the best term for him. Shiva's been called the destroyer, the transformer. But really what Shiva is he is the great awakener. And what Shiva is most concerned with is awakening to your connection to the soul. The soul is nothing more than Shiva. Excuse me. The soul is nothing more than Vishnu. Sorry. The soul is Vishnu. And Shiva is said to be the greatest devotee of Vishnu. And this is because Shiva is able to see the soul. You, at your essence, are a soul. So you have the Brahma, which is the creator, which has to do creation of this matrix, has to do with the intellect, the part of the mind that is here to create 3D with your intentions. We have Vishnu, which is the preserver, which really means just living in the state of the soul. The root of the word Vishnu comes from the same, in my ethnic background, you have Odin, Vili, and Ve. Ve is the name for the heart center. It's the name of temples. When you go to a temple, way back then, back in Viking times, if you went to the temple, you were going to the Ve. And the word Ve is the root of Vishnu, and Ve means expansive, to expand. So Vishnu is the preserver because he expands the safety for the soul to experience whatever reality it's in. But when any given reality comes to an end and starts to decay, starts to go into chaos, then Shiva comes to save the soul. And he does that through his transformative awakening. It means the soul must wake up. The soul must wake up. There's pictures of Vishnu and he's resting on Ananta. He's lying back on the snake. Again, the snake Ananta. Well, Vishnu has to wake up. And so in comes Shiva, the greatest devotee of the soul, who is going to wake you up to your soul. And in order to do that, it means you have to wake up from the dream, which means 3D is coming down. The whole thing is coming down. Now, as you know, Nagas, very, very powerful beings. Nagas are actually one of the teachers that come and give to humans hidden spiritual knowledge. We know this from even the Abrahamic tradition, which, even though it's trying to, and does a bad job, it tries to make the serpent look evil. But, the Christian tradition equates the serpent with Satan, which he wasn't. Satan is a creation that came later. And they called the serpent the great deceiver. But that's not true. Even the Abrahamic Genesis account of the serpent says that he's just a truth sayer. He says the truth. And his job is to awaken you to your true self. So Jehovah, this is all symbolic. Jehovah is going down. Jehovah is going down. Jehovah is nothing more than the narcissistic ego, the great I am. I am that I am. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And that is the ego. That is the narcissistic ego that can't see anything beyond its own self-absorbed grandiosity. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Whereas the quantum consciousness, the true God of the universe, says, I'm everything. I'm Shiva, I'm Krishna, I'm Buddha, I'm Jehovah, I'm Jesus, I'm everything. So when you worship anything, you're worshiping me. Not only that, you're worshiping yourself. I am you, which is the exact opposite of what Jehovah says. Jehovah doesn't say I am you. So the Adam and Eve, when the serpent came to them, the serpent said, hey, how come you're not eating that one fruit? Which, by the way, it wasn't an apple. It might have been a pomegranate, actually. What is that one fruit? And they say, oh, we're not allowed to eat that. And then he says, why? Didn't Jehovah say that, that if you eat that, you will become aware of yourself? Why don't you want to become aware of yourself? The only thing that's going to happen if you eat that fruit is you'll see who you truly are, which is obviously what Jehovah didn't want. Doesn't want you to know who you are. Your ego does not want you to know the massive power that you have. Because if you awaken to your true infinity, guess who you will dwarf? Jehovah will become very tiny and impotent because he's the tiny three-dimensional ego that allows you to attach to this, what we're now experiencing as a matrix prison. So of course, he doesn't want you to know who you are, because once you know who you are, then you cannot be controlled by the ego. That's what this is about. So Nagas are actually extraterrestrial beings, very powerful extraterrestrial shape-shifting beings, and they have been coming here from the beginning. They are the beings who revealed Kundalini to human beings. They are the beings who have revealed even things like runes. These all come from the Nagas. There is a very powerful Naga inside the depths of the earth who is awakening on this new moon. And he is going to awaken, and for the next year we are going to have a massive awakening, a revelation of all of the lies, as well as an awakening to who you truly are. And who are you? You are Vishnu. You are the most powerful life force in the universe. You are consciousness itself. When you find out who you truly are, trust me, it is going to absolutely blow your circuits. You cannot stay in the third dimension when you have seen who you really are. My light being friends have been showing me, to their credit, they've had to work really hard to get through my 3D brain. They're still doing it. I haven't completely achieved everything yet in terms of this awakening. I'm still absorbing it and expanding into it. But once you start to accept who you truly are, you can never be controlled again by anything. So this whole thing is coming down. Money, banks, government, all of it. It's all coming down. Let's see, anything else we want to talk about? I think that's pretty much it. We are going to be in the background, hopefully, is it still going on? You can hear the Hul breath underneath this. I strongly recommend that at least for this day, you chant the Hul breath. After this, we'll move into the Huar mantra. Those of you who are new, go back to some of the videos from June, July, and August of last year, and you'll understand these two mantras, Hul and Huar. When I move from this place, which will be in the next week, I should be able to start doing live streams again. We'll start doing live streaming Hul breath and Huar mantra chants together, because now I understand how powerful these mantras are. What we're going to do, the Hul breath, what it does is it takes you and connects you directly to the crystalline structure underneath the earth, which then connects you, as I said, to all of consciousness, all of the stars, the planets, and all of the minds out there, higher dimensional minds. So this is a very powerful way to for us to go in and stimulate the earth to be connected and to rise. Earth needs us to help her as well. She helps us, but we need to help her now. And then we'll go into the Huar mantra, which is where the power of the sun, which is the solar flash that we're all talking about, the solar waves that are hitting us as we speak, we connect that with the earth, crystalline grid, and this will bring a complete awakening. We get to do this with the earth and the sun and the other conscious beings. The more of us that do the Hul breath and the Huar mantra, the more of us that do it, the faster Earth will ascend. And the more easily humans will awaken. Okay? So that's it for now, my friends. Do the Hul breath for this day of the new moon. And as you're chanting and doing your meditations, I want to suggest to you that you think about the destruction of the lies, the revelation of the truth, the expansion of who we are, and focusing on this new reality coming to earth. If we focus on it, it will manifest. And this mantra, when you do the Hul breath, you're connecting to that powerful intergalactic communication network, which will then intensify and bring this into our reality. So that's it for me today. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you so much. I will see you all very soon.